Hey, I'm Elijah from PyCalendar, and in this video, I'm going to show you what we've been working on for PyCalendar 1.4. There are a couple of little bug fixes and tweaks that you can find in the changelog, but I'm going to focus on our global blackout dates feature. So in PyCalendar, you can set up events to occur once, or if you're using the Pro version, you can set them to recur based on some rules. And the global blackouts option allows you to use similar rules to set up dates that events should never occur on. For example, if you have events recurring every single day, but you don't want them to show up on weekends, this new feature will allow you to do that. So I've set up some example events, and I want to go ahead and just show you a few simple use cases so you can kind of wrap your head around how you might use this feature. All right, so the first thing I want to show you is where you can find the new settings. So in the WordPress admin panel, you'll go to settings, PyCalendar, which previously this is all you would have. Now you have a blackout dates tab. Now we went pretty basic with the UI because frankly, this is something that just exists on the back end. It's a pure utility really, so it didn't need to be super beautiful. I'd rather get the functionality right than try to make it pretty. So the way we're going to start is by adding a blackout rule. But before I do that, I want to show you my sample page of events. So I've got some events here. Some of them are recurring, like the Summer Strategy Lab. Some of them are kind of one-off events, but we've got a nice variety of dates here to play with. So I'm going to start with what I think is the most obvious use case, which is blacking out Saturday and Sunday. So let's hop over to the back end and add a blackout rule. Now, blackouts don't operate on ranges, so you are going to need one per day. So in this case, if I just want to black out, say Saturday the 6th and Sunday the 7th, I can do that. So I can go here and just set the 6th, add another rule, and go to the 7th. And if we save that, you're going to see what this does. I mean, we don't have any events on the 7th, so you won't see anything there. But watch Saturday the 6th when I refresh, you can see that that event no longer appears on that date. So we have blacked out that date effectively. Let's get rid of these rules real quick. And if we refresh, you can see that that event on Saturday is back. Now this is useful if you have like a one-off blackout situation. Say I'm going to be out of the office, or maybe this event got canceled for whatever reason. Just this one time, I could black out Wednesday the 10th. So let's go ahead and do that. Single blackout, and then go to Wednesday the 10th, save. This one's canceled. If I refresh, it's no longer there. Now, the next thing, which I think is probably more useful than the single blackout dates for most people, and that is the blackout rules or recurring blackouts. This uses a similar syntax to our recurrence rules and allows you to set up a rule on which to black out dates, so you don't have to actually specify the dates themselves. So for instance, if I wanted to never have events, I could set up a recurring blackout for every one day, which makes zero sense, so I'm not gonna do that. Let's do weekends again. So I wanna make sure no events show up on any weekend day. So recurring blackout frequency is going to be weekly, and I am going to need two of these. So the first one will be for Saturdays. We'll do there. And this is the start date, but it's going to determine basically the day of the week that it impacts each week. And let's add another one. We'll go to recurring blackout. We'll go to weekly, and then we'll go over here and set this one for Sunday. So starting on the 6th and the 7th of June, events will no longer appear on the weekends. So let's save that. And if we look over here, we have several events on Saturday, and we have one that's spanning over a Sunday, one that's going on Saturday there, and then a few on Sunday next month. So let's go ahead and refresh, and you'll see that Saturdays and Sundays have been cleared. So if we go back to the back end, you can see that we've allowed you to have as many blackout rules as you want. If you end up not needing one, say the event date has passed or something like that, you can delete it and then save. But I think the most useful way to use this is definitely the recurring blackout approach that uses the rule set instead of just picking a date. Though picking a date can be useful. Let's do another example. Let's say that I am out on a specific day of every year. So I can go recurring blackout. I can do yearly every 1 year, let's say on November 25th, I don't want to be available. So I'm going to save that. And then if I had any events on November 25th, even if I had accidentally forgotten that I wasn't available and I had set up an event that would occur on that day, my blackout rule would prevent that event from appearing. We also made a few other minor changes. Let me just go through our GitHub milestone here. So we added the global blackout dates that I just showed you. There was an issue where our classic MetaBox recurrence dates would default to 2024 for some reason. I corrected that, fixed a fatal error that was caused by an edge case, specifically an event that had no source chosen, which is related to the PyCalendar connector, which most people have never run into, but I ran into it, so I fixed it. I updated some language on one of our settings pages. Other than that, this is a pretty laid back release. I wanted to focus on this one main feature for this release and get it out and get it rock solid for you. I'm excited for you to try it. I think this is gonna make PyCalendar a lot more convenient and usable for a lot of people. So try PyCalendar 1.4.0, let us know how it goes. If you have any specific use cases that this doesn't cover, make sure to email us at support@pycalendar.com and let us know, because we're always looking out for customers that have specific needs or something they need that some of our features don't quite cover, so that we can hopefully cover that in the future. Again, I'm Elijah, and that's PyCalendar 1.4. Thanks for watching.